What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, and I'm back with another video, man. And you already know what I need you to do. Hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification bell, because it does go a long way with helping out the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to Hold My Nuts podcast. We talk about everything semen retention and no fap. If you stumbled across this channel, man, listen, there's no accident. I already know why you're here. You're tired of releasing on your keyboards, your laptops, your desktops. You're tired of being manipulated and dominated by female culture, man. You're in the right place. If you already been rocking with your boy, you already know the love is real. So without further ado, man, let's get into the video today. Will ignoring a woman work? Will ignoring a woman work? It's story time, guys. I want to tell you guys a story from when I was back in high school to kind of tie this all in together. And you want to watch this video to the end, because I'm going to be letting you know why this tactic works and why it doesn't work, and the importance of understanding what it is we're doing and when it comes to ignoring a woman, so that we can be doing this the right way and not the wrong way. All right. So when I was in high school, I would say around the 11th grade, I was in the 11th grade, and I was dating this girl. I was talking to this girl. We were, she was a softball player, soccer player. I was a basketball player. And, we just connected. And we were just, vibing with one another and whatnot. And I noticed maybe 3 weeks or a month into, us hanging out and chilling and whatever, she started becoming distant. And we had the same homeroom class together. So we were in the same class. And so I had to see her every single day in first period. And I really liked this girl, man. She was cool. She was pretty. She was athletic and all that. And, but she was in my first period class, but she started pulling away. And I can see that it was like she was focusing less and less on me. And I was kind of like in the background, whereas before we were on equal footing. And I was like, man, so it started to really bring my spirits down. I was like, man, what's going on? I'm the star player, and this doesn't make any sense. It seems like she just threw me to the back burner, like I'm just not relevant anymore. You understand? So one particular day, I came home from school, and my mom, she can tell something was different with me. She was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, man. She like, what's wrong? And a 16-year-old, you don't really want to tell your mom, you having girl problems or whatnot. And actually, my mom is the one who actually gave me game growing up about women. She used to give me all these different tactics to do. And it's funny because a lot of these things are still true to this day. And so I tell her what was going on. I was like, listen, I'm talking to this girl. It's like she doesn't like me anymore. I don't know. She's acting funny. She's acting different. And so I'm just giving her the breakdown of what's going on. And almost before I can even finish getting it out, she tells me, she says, listen, this is what you do. You go to school tomorrow and you act like she doesn't even exist. This is what my mother told me. She said, you go to school tomorrow and you act as if she doesn't exist. And she said, I guarantee you her attitude towards you will change. So I was like, all right, it was nothing else. I mean, it was worth giving it a shot. So I went to school that next day Now, mind you, we're in the same class. Not only are we in the same homeroom class, we actually sit at the same table. And it was getting so awkward during this time period to where I didn't even know if I should sit by her or not. You know what I'm saying? Because it was almost like I was a repellent. You feel me? So I go to school that next day. I don't try to sit next to her. I just sit down at my table and I start talking and rapping with everybody except her. And it was like, it wasn't in no, I'm just being myself and I'm talking to everyone at my table, people in my classroom, because I'm a popular guy in school. Well, when I was in school. And so I'm just going about my day. So first period's over with, I just walk out. Don't say bye. Don't try to acknowledge her, say what's up. You know what I'm saying? Because she had already been giving me the signals that, I wasn't important at the time. So I'm just doing my regular school day like she doesn't even exist. I'm just not paying her anything. I'm following my mom's instructions to the T. So I do this for maybe a week. And then guess what happened? One of her friends reached out to me and she was like, Heather wants to know if she's wondering if you still like her or not. And I'm like, now, mind you, she put a friend up to this. She couldn't come tell me herself. She couldn't come to me, right? She had to get her friend involved to kind of figure out, get information about, what I was doing. So it was a Saturday. I got a phone call from her friend telling me, Heather wants to know if you're going to take her to the fair and all these different things, right? Because you haven't said anything. And I said, really? She was like, yeah. And so I told her to have her give me a call or whatever the case may be, because I didn't want to reach out. So I ended up getting a call that day from Heather, and I was talking to her, and she was like, yeah, I didn't know if you were going to take me to the fair, blah, blah, blah. Now, mind you, I wanted to take her to the fair. I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to be around her. I wanted these things, but I just did what my mom told me to do in regards to ignoring her. Make a long story short, I ended up taking her to the fair. We ended up, getting back on the same type of mode we was on before all this other stuff started happening. And we were connecting, having a good time. And the whole situation changed just because I ignored her for about a week and just didn't pay any attention to her. I just went on about my day like she was no big deal. This was advice given to me by my mother. Now, how does my mother know this? Being that she's not a man, but she understands from being a woman of how these things work or how the psychology of a woman works in this regard. And so I employed that tactic and it worked. The crazy thing about it, though, is this. And this is why I wanted you guys to continue watching, is because later on in life, I stumbled across another female who it was like love at first sight. She was just beautiful. And same thing happened, but I didn't employ the tactic, right? I didn't employ the tactic, and it was kind of the same type of vibe. And so I see all that to say this. When it comes to ignoring a woman, this can't be a tactic that you are using in order to get this woman to do what it is you want her to do. This actually has to be something that's a part of your makeup of who you are, because you are so focused on yourself, your goals, and what it is you're trying to do. And you have self-respect. You respect yourself, right? So if you can feel the vibes that a person's disposition towards you is changing, you automatically shift your focus to what is focusing on you or what it is that you want to focus on. Right. So the reason when I got into that other relationship with the other female that I wasn't able to ignore her, was because at the time that was not part of my makeup. That was not part of who I was. Right. It was a tactic that worked for me at that particular moment, but it wasn't anything that stuck with me because of the person I had become. I was still the same person, right? I was still that same person. So I had to learn how to do this. I had to learn how to develop this. And what happens is once you start practicing semen retention, you start focusing on God, and you start having principles that you live by, principles that you die by, things that are non-negotiable, right, with other people, whether it be men or whether it be women, whether it be work, career-wise. These are principles that you stand by as a man, and you refuse to fall back on those. That's when those type of situations occur. A woman starts pulling away. It's not that you're employing a tactic. It's that this is just how you will respond by default because of the person that you have become. And that's the key. A lot of guys are ignoring women just for the sake of ignoring them in order to get something in return, as opposed to this just being a part of who you are through self-development. You want this to be a part of who you are via self-development, right? So if you're dealing with a female and she pulls away, I'm not going to employ the tactic in order to get her to respond to me. This is just what I'm doing. This is just automatic. It's almost like self-defense, right? You don't walk around trying to employ self-defense tactics on random people. You know what I mean? You don't walk around, looking how I'm gonna put this dude in the headlock, how I'm gonna do a DDT, you don't walk around doing that. Self-defense is something that has just something about who you are. When you feel threatened, you proceed to protect yourself. When you see that woman pulling away, when you see that she's acting like you're no longer it's okay. I'm not employing this tactic. I'm not even employing a tactic at this point. It's just who I am. I'm going to remove my attention from you. I did a video on attention the other day. I'm going to take my attention away. I'm going to focus it on those who want to be around me. And I'm going to continue to focus it on my goals, my dreams, my ambitions, the things that I'm working for. I'm not going to waste time chasing after women, chasing for validation, chasing for this woman to like me. I'm not going to waste my time. And that comes as a result of self-development. This comes with how you view yourself. How do you value yourself? I told you guys that your value comes from God. That was the whole Will Smith situation. I did a video on that. Will Smith seeking validation from Jada Pinkett. And what I was trying to express was that you have to understand that your validation only comes from God. So when you get validated by God, you don't have to go out and seek the validation of anyone. This goes for women too. You do not have to seek the validation because you understand your worth, your self-worth is founded in God, founded in Christ. So you don't have to worry about that. So it was just funny that the tactics will work in order to get the person to come back and to focus on you. But how long will it last before she loses interest again? Because this is not who you really are. You're going to go back doing the same things you did before that may have caused her to become distant or walk away from you. Things like being clingy, things like, you have to be up under her all the time. These are things that will push a woman away. Things like not being busy and focused on your own grind. It's like you don't have a life. If you don't have a life, if a woman can tell that you don't have a life, it's going to be hard for her to stay attracted to you because you have to be focused on what it is you're doing. Right. But if you're always around, if you're always in her face, in her text, on her phone, I see dudes walking around talking on the phone to girls. I just never understood that. I mean, it'd be in the middle of the day. Guys have a little headpiece in and they talking to girls all day on the phone. I'm like, I don't know how they do that. I really don't. That's just never been me. When I was younger, really young, high school, and I ain't had anything to do other than hoop and go to school, then yes, I did stuff like that. But as I really became a man, I don't have time to sit and have a 30, 45-minute conversation while I'm driving in my car. I can't talk to you, right? I'm listening to some podcasts. I'm listening to my music that motivates me. Or I'm on the phone with something that's regarded or related to business, or I might be talking to my mom. That's about it. But I can't talk on the phone with you all day long, all night, just on the phone. Dudes just on the phone with females. I'm like, bro, when I was out there really living that life, that's just not something I was doing. It's a text message, two or three text messages. Boom. You meet me here, meet you there, blah, blah, blah. That's it. But these long conversations, that's just not happening. Right. And what I've noticed is, for whatever reason, women are attracted to that. The fact that you have a life. And guess what? You should have a life. And if you don't have a life, then you should get a life. You should find a life, and you should focus your attention on yourself. And those people who want to be around you, those women who want to be around you, they will be around you, and you will not have to go out and employ these tactics, because this will just be a default reaction, default response to when women pull away. You will let them pull away, and you will not chase after them. You will not try to figure out what's wrong. You will just continue to move forward. I hope this video bless you guys. If you're getting value from it, please hit the like button. Also, check out the merch, man. Check out the merch. And the link is in the description. I love you guys. This is Hold My Nuts Podcast, man. I'm going to holler at you guys in the next video. Peace.